Today we're going to be reading the story, The Dot, by Peter Reynolds. This is a story about a little girl, Vashti, who was having not such a good time in art class, but then she soon learns that she's an artist. So here's the title, The Dot, and this is written and illustrated by Peter Reynolds. And Peter actually signed this story for us. Art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. Oh no, she didn't make anything. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. "Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm," she said. "Very funny," said Vashti. "I just can't draw." Our teacher said a polar bear in a snowstorm because it's white on white. You wouldn't see anything. Her teacher smiled. "Just make a mark and see where it takes you." Vashti grabbed a marker and gave the paper a good strong jab. "There!" Oh, she's really angry. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, "Now sign it." Artists sign their work. Vashti thought for a moment, "Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name." The next week, Vashti walked into art class. She was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot she had drawn, her dot, all framed in swirly gold. I bet that made Vashti feel very special, that her art was framed in swirly gold. I can make a better dot than that." She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. Vashti painted and painted. A red dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot, a blue dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting. Lots of little dots in many colors. "If I can make little dots, I can make big dots too." Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on a bigger paper to make bigger dots. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. Oh, I could see that white dot. That's just plain paper. At the school art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. That's a lot of dots. I like that art exhibit. Vashti noticed a little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? Not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper. "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. He was very nervous. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle and then she said, "Please sign it." Vashti made the little boy feel like he was an artist, that his squiggle was great. And that's the end. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make dots. And we're going to add different types of line to our dot. And then at the end, you're going to sign it because you're all artists. After reading the story of The Dot by Peter Reynolds, it's our turn to make a dot. But we don't want to make a plain boring dot. We want to make a very interesting dot. One way to make something more interesting is to add the elements of art to it. We're going to talk about line today. Line is one of our elements. The elements of art are the building blocks of art, like Legos, building blocks. They're the choices you make when you're making your art. So here are different types of line. There are vertical, horizontal, and diagonal straight lines, and then there are curved, spiral, wavy, cloud lines, zigzag lines, castle lines, step lines, shark lines, mountain lines, jagged lines, walk around lines, dashed, dotted, and loop-to-loop lines. Line is an element of art that artists use to create. We're going to use lines to create today. You're going to use crayons or anything to color with, and I'm also going to use paint. So if you have paint, this is a great time to use it today. So what you're going to do is just start like Vashti and start with a dot in the middle. You can use this circle template that I provided in your packet at the beginning of the year, or you can start with a blank white page just like Vashti. And then after you do your dot in the middle, what you're going to do is you're going to start making circles around. And this is just a plain thin circle. And then I can make a circle out of dots, a dotted line circle. And I'm going to do dot, dot, dot. Maybe I want to do my loopy line. And then I can pick another kind of line, like a zigzag, or maybe I want to do a dashed line, or the vertical lines coming out. All around, I'm moving it around my circle. My dot. A line is just a dot that takes a walk. Now that I did my dot and I filled it up to the outer edge, it's okay if you just do plain circles around. Just add lots of color. Have fun making your dot. This is a famous artist, Wassily Kandinsky. You could see his dot paintings. He puts the dots and he puts just plain circles around with different colors and fills the squares. He was considered the pioneer of abstract art. Today we're making just a dot with lines and colors. It's not coming together to be anything. This type of art is abstract. I'm going to actually, for the rest of my dot, to add even more color, I'm going to use watercolors. Watercolors are a type of paint. And what I'm going to do when I use my watercolors, you have to be very gentle with them. You need to also wake them up. If I just start rubbing them, I'm not going to get much paint. I need to wake them up with water. So I'm going to dip in the water and I'm going to rub gently and I'm going to say, wake up, color. I'm waking up my color red, and I'm just going to go around the outside on my tippy toes of my brush like a little ballerina dancing around with my red. And then I want to switch my color. If I put this red in the yellow, it's going to make the yellow all messy. So what I need to do is clean my brush. I dip, I wipe, and then I swipe. I say, wake up, yellow. And just rub it gently. Keep my brush on its tippy toes. And the crayons will shine through the watercolors. Really cool. I also want to show you a trick about how to make watercolors by using markers. If you have just regular washable markers, you can make another circle around the middle. Color a few times. And then you can wake up, color, and just wet the marker and it becomes paint. You don't want too much water, so I'm wiping on the side of my container because it will rip your paper. I'm going to finish up. I'm going to wake up my purple. Wake up, purple. And I'm just going to go right along with that. You use whatever supplies you have. You can use crayons, just make it colorful and have fun, be creative like Vashti. After you're done with this, remember what Vashti told the little boy and what Vashti's art teacher told her. Okay, just sign your name. So I want you, after you're done with your colorful dot, to sign your name. I'm writing my name, Mrs. Davis, on my paper. And that's it. You made a dot just like Vashti. If you would like to, you could post this on our Padlet. Padlet instructions are found on our Schoology page, and that would be the best way to show me your art. Thanks for watching.